Alright, so, disclaimer. This video pretty much outright spoils the first 3 hours of Xenoblade Chronicles. So if you have any wish to experience the game with virgin eyes, shut off this video. Go play the game. Then come back and we can talk about it. Xenoblade starts out by introducing you to three main characters. Shulk, who is your protagonist, and is almost always really feeling it. Reyn, a character who right away feels like a lifelong friend. And Fiora, who is a childhood friend with somewhat obvious and not very well hidden feelings for the protagonist, Shulk. There is a fourth character, though. The world in Xenoblade is a character. The game takes place on the frozen backs of two dead gods, titans who, after an eternal conflict, laid waste to one another with their final blows. And from their corpses spring all life, biological life from the Bionis, and mechanical life from the Mechanis. The dead gods' feud continues to be waged by their offspring, and it's revealed that the biological side of it's on the losing end. So the game kind of starts out like any other RPG does. You are in a relatively peaceful town. You do some mundane tasks and some quests, and you complete some things, and you learn how the mechanics work. And through the peaceful in-game banter and through the experiences and the minor accomplishments that you get in the beginning of the game, you begin to see how the characters' relationships are. And while you're learning about their relationships, you're also doing regular RPG things, like choosing a skill tree and allotting points and deciding on where you want the future of your characters to go. Skill trees in RPGs are always a very interesting thing. No one just looks at a skill tree looking at the skills available, but rather looks down at deciding what skill do I want ultimately. Skill trees are, in a way, a glimpse into the future, a glimpse into possibility, a glimpse into what can become. And then there's Fiora. Oh, Fiora, whose every interaction hints at an involved past and romantic future. You know she's going to be an intricate part of the story, and in all likelihood, Shulk's love interest. You have expectations, hopes, and imagined futures. And then this happens.
The Monado! It's not working! Oi! What do you mean? How can that be? The Monado should cut through Mechon with ease. What is that light? Other Mechon don't have that. Could that light be why the Monado has no effect? Shulk! Reyn! Get down! Stay back! I'll take it from here. No! You can't take any more!
Everyone! Get away right now!
Fiora! I just... Fiora! Get back!
I won't let you hurt any more people. We will save Colony 9!
Fiora! Get out of here! Run!
You want more?
She had a skill tree. How can this be? She had a skill tree! It wasn't until this moment, right here, where I realized what they were setting up for. That Shulk was going to see the future but be impotent to stop it. And it was in that moment that I realized how much I didn't want this character to die. She had the promise of an interesting story, and a possible future romantic relationship. And she had a skill tree. I was thinking tactically how I was going to use her, what skills would be most viable for my party. And they took that all away. And in that moment right there, during the death scene, I felt all the real severance that happens when somebody actually dies. All of that potential, all of that possible future, gone. I mean, I actually mourned for the character. When it was happening, I was shocked and hoping with all of my being that there's a way out of this. And then after she died, I was pissed. I was like, you gave me that character. It's like somebody gives you a puppy, leaves it with you for a week, you get used to it, and then they shoot it in front of you. I was mad. And then I was like, maybe the Monado can do more than see the future. Maybe she can come back some way. And then I was sad. I was just legitimately sad she was dead. And then I had to accept it and move on. And now that I've been playing in a party of 3 for so long, a party of 2 feels empty, like something's missing. I want you guys to appreciate the brilliance that led up to this moment. Xenoblade's story is good, but it is not great. Voice acting is good, it's interesting, it's got an English flair to it. If you haven't played the game, you'll know what I mean the second you turn it on. But it's not the voice acting or the detailed story that carried this moment. It's not, like, I literally had the character for like 2 to 3 hours before she died, and yet I felt something because of all of these hints at a past and all these imaginings of a future, and a skill tree. The skill tree was brilliant, wasn't it? They give you a skill tree for a character, and you imagine all the things you could do with her, all the things that are gonna happen in the future, and then there is no future, and it really feels like death. Death is an abrupt severance of possibility, one that leads us through a torrent of emotions as we try to make sense of it. And this moment captured the harsh finality of death beautifully. All of our plans for a future, gone. Dashed in a horrible moment of unreversible brutality. Hey guys, Saga here. This is the first part of a series that I'm putting out called Appreciating Gaming, where we look at elements of game design that make games really shine, like little nuances and things about the design that make moments stick in our brain and stay with us. Just a little bit of background about this game if you're interested. I first started playing this game when I was having extremely bad insomnia, and every time I would go to bed, I would be thinking about what I was doing during the day, which is mostly things like making Overwatch videos. And the problem with thinking about Overwatch is when I go to bed, my mind races, and I start to think about new videos I can do, and I start to like put them together in my head. And the problem with that is, when your mind starts to race, you're not sleeping, right? So I needed a story to really distract me from what I did throughout the day. And I figured, why not try an immersive RPG, one that I had laying around, one that I've been meaning to play for a long time. And so far, I'm really pleasantly surprised. The game's pretty good. There are some really poorly written plot moments, but other than 1 or 2 qualms, it's like, I think all RPG players, long-term RPG players, once been playing them their whole life, can forgive RPGs those things if they get other things right. And this RPG certainly gets a lot of things very right. And I've been loving the experience so far, so if you haven't picked up the game yet, go ahead and try it out. Also, I gotta ask you guys if you know anything about the future of this game, what happens next, please do not tell me, do not tell anyone else. I am further in the game now, and I know more about the future of it, but I don't want anyone else to get the plot spoiled any further, and I don't want to have the plot that I haven't seen yet spoiled further, so please no comments about what happens other than the stuff I talked about. And a quick shout out to MatPat, whose excellent Majora's Mask video taught me what the Kubler-Ross model of grief actually is. If you guys haven't seen that video yet, you really should. I'll leave a link in the description. Also, let me know if you guys like this kind of stuff, because this is a new format for me, and I really do want to experiment with it. I think the next video might be something about Resident Evil. I'm not entirely sure yet, though. Also, if you guys are new here, I make Overwatch content and Hearthstone content. I travel the world, I vlog, I do all kinds of stuff. If that kind of stuff sounds cool to you, go ahead and subscribe. And if you guys would like to see some of my other content, you can check out my Overwatch content over here. And if you would like to see something other than my Overwatch content, you can check out my vlog down here. Alright guys, I'll see you next time.